And welcome back. The International Monetary Fund has classified Ghana as a low-income developing country in its April 2021 Fiscal Monitor. Now, 13 African countries were, however, ranked as emerging and middle-income economies. Charles Nixon Yeboah has been looking at the classifications and has filed this report.
According to the fund's latest Fiscal Monitor, the country is no more recognized as a middle-income economy, despite achieving that status in 2009. However, countries such as Angola, Gabon, Swaziland, and Namibia, which Ghana is said to be doing better than, are classified as emerging and middle-income economies by the Bretton Woods institution. It appears the COVID-19 pandemic had been unfavorable to the country, impacting negatively on her finances. Ghana's positioning may be due to the poor state of its fiscal economy, which requires tougher measures going forward in order to bounce back to a better state. The budget deficit to gross domestic product of 11.7% is a major worry. Additionally, the rising debt, which the nation will spend about 46% of its revenue to pay investors this year, is also a headache to managers of the Ghanaian economy. For now, all eyes will be on the managers of the economy on how to reposition and get the country back to its former levels.
And joining us via Zoom with some analysis is economist and finance lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Lord Mensah. Doctor, we're so grateful that you joined us. What do you make of this IMF classification as per its 2020 Fiscal Monitor?
Yeah, well, if you look at the indicators of this Fiscal Monitor, it clearly tells you that how did the countries, prepared for the COVID, and how did they, defended themselves with the COVID. And then going forward after, the COVID, how prepared are they in terms of, expansion and all those. So effectively, you will understand that, yes, Ghana battled this COVID with a huge expenditure, which called for about 11-point-something% of our, budget deficit. And then also with our rising debt. It tells you that in future, if we should come out of this COVID, economic expansion will be a bit slow. That gives you the signal that we did not have enough buffer when this COVID, came in. So it has derailed our, expenditure. And in the end, we're spending more than anticipated because of this COVID. And I can tell you that our revenue projections too are not that much encouraging. And that is why possibly we slipped off, that pecking order. And I believe the countries that found themselves in the ranking above us are the ones that have the potential to absorb that the COVID, and then in the end, going forward, if it comes to expansion, the countries will have somehow, some way, enough buffer to expand. And then even if you don't have the buffer, what is your ability to raise funds? From the global market. As we speak now, Ghana's debt level seems to be high. And so going forward, if we should exit this COVID, our ability to raise money will still be tough. And that is why possibly it has slipped us into that low ranks as we get from this Fiscal Monitor. So I'm not surprised to see our ranking at all.
But then, does this lead to a dangerous trend in terms of the risks involved from the point of view of investors, the investor community, from the point of view of our macroeconomic standing? What lies the direction then?
Yeah, for me, I think we should, tone down. We should be a bit conserved when it comes to our expenditure. We should prioritize our expenditure, and for us to, look good in the eyes of the international community. We talked about a budget deficit of about 11-point-something% in terms of numbers. We're looking at around 41-point-something billion Ghana cedis deficit. Who is calling for this deficit? We want to grow, as an economy. And if we should take our growth in a slow-paced form, I don't think we'll be opening our eyes for that huge deficit, which, we don't have the financing mechanisms to support it. So it's a matter of cutting your coat according to your side, going forward.
Finally, before I let you go, already we've heard from government this projection of a 5% growth in the macroeconomic indicators, even though the IMF and even the World Bank are also prospecting some positive growth for developing countries in the wake of COVID-19 inoculation programs around the world. How could this, if it remains steady for the next 5 or 10 years, how could it impact our standing?
Yeah, for economic growth, I mean, you need to have prospect, your ability to raise funds, your ability to attract, foreign direct investment, your ability to export more. These are the things we're supposed to see to enhance your economic growth. Now, they seem to be static because if you take the happenings now, it's like we've dipped in our economic activities, and it will definitely take some time before we come up from that dip. And like I said earlier, economy that forced itself into a huge debt and keep on expanding its debt. When it comes to recovery, it becomes tough because you might need external financing to recover. And if you position yourself in such a way that you exhaust the possibility of raising external financing, then nobody will project you to be a country that can be growing at a faster pace. So I'm not surprised to see that stagnated growth that has been allocated for Ghana or has been projected for Ghana.
Dr. Lobenso, I'm so grateful that he joined us. He's an economist and finance lecturer at the University of Ghana there.